Hello, YouTubers. This is a new session with my friend Stanislaw to continue our development of a social media timeline in Blazor. The last time Stanislaw and Brian, joined me into building a basic component that where we can render all the posts that are coming from an API, and it looks like Stanislav added a little bit of more, functionality into the back end to basically make sure that the author and the let me merge your first PR. So you had two PRs. You have one on the front end and one on the back end, right? So
Backend.
that's
That's
so the
right.
one
That's right.
right. So the one on the front end, and thank you for putting the screenshots and all that. This is post and post view. So you're passing in here, but this author can be a string now, right? I'm assuming.
Right. That's right.
Perfect.
It is
Perfect.
a string. Yeah.
Okay, so that's that guy, and then you have one on the back end that makes the author a string, right? Let's see, uh,
Taarafo core. Yeah.
alpha core, br, pulse view other property. Well, there's no pulse view in the. Let's see. So that means you had to kind of change across all, right?
No, I did just copy the name. That's why I guess.
Okay, let's take that one in for now. Let's go here. There you go. Okay. Let's try this out. Let's put some data into our, change your data into your system into people's name and try to run it end to end on your end. Let's show people what we have. Go ahead. Don't forget the screen size, please, Stanislav.
Oh yeah. You're right. Let me do 150 for you. So then let me share. So I hope it's the correct screen. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I, I think. It's already running, but I can check the merge
Mm-hmm.
on the master.
Yep, yep. Let's run them both. Well, not both of them from master. Just you're gonna have to merge master onto your branch, onto your
Right,
uh,
but for core it's okay
for
like
core,
this,
yeah,
right?
for core it's okay. That's right. That's right.
So I'm gonna start the core now. And for web one,
Yeah,
we would need to merge from
right.
master.
For those of you who don't know, Stanislaw got a pretty good machine, so things are gonna be much faster now.
So yeah, thanks to you all guys watching. My wife was kind enough to
Just let you go
make
do
it
it.
happen. Okay, that's right. And now we need to merge from upstream main.
Nice. Yeah, 9. I love it.
Okay, then let's go. I think it should be now fine.
Mm, okay,
There we have like
that's the old
something
one.
at least.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
something coming. Yeah,
right. So now we would only need to like change to have like more properties, right?
that's
To
right.
view
That's right.
more data, but it's working with
But wait, that's
with the
what the
code.
other PR is, right? The PR that you had in the portal, right? That's the PR that guy I merged it mistakenly, but it's in there.
Mhm.
I don't know if that helps. So if you pull from main and then merge main onto your branch, and I think it'll do the just pull from main and see what happens. Well, you have these outgoing, right? So yeah,
Yeah, I
let's
think
pull.
this is because I I did it, right? I mean,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
And now when we want to like see maybe more stuff, we could edit in the timeline component itself.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah. So okay, so that's what we're gonna try to do today, right? I want to be able to add more details in there, and I want to be able to actually verify. We want to be able to verify the properties on this base component, right?
mm,
So let me steal the screen from you. Actually, go to the test real quick, where we
mhm.
had the test for the timelines.
Ah, here, the render.
Hmm. So here's the deal. Do you see the part where we go and say check out the count? That's a weak test. If you scroll down a little bit,
Mm,
do you see that part where it says give me
here.
all the card base? Check out the count. That's a very weak test, right? What we want to do
Mm,
is that we want to iterate on these post components and see if the title and the title and the name, the content and the date are in each and every one of these post components. So how are we going to do that? So let me go back to this branch. Push whatever you have, and I will take it on my side real quick, and then we'll do we'll,
mhm.
we'll do a little experimentation there.
Right, now should be there.
Okay, perfect. I'm just increasing my screen size. Here is Stanislaw, and here is the Taarafo portal. Okay, sharing my screen now.
I can see mine still. Yeah,
Okay, here we go.
now.
Okay, so let me pull latest. Sync. Here we go. Okay, and let me run everything here real quick. Okay, so everything is running, but it's not running for good. So if I go into the actual component that we have here, so let's take a quick look at the whatchamacallit.
Timeline component. Mm.
Yeah, where is it? It should be under here. Oh, this is a view post from my session
Oh yeah, it's
with
called
Ricardo.
timeline component.
It should be
The
components
branch components timeline. Mhm.
right,
Yeah,
component.
there it was.
Hang on. It's this one here. Okay, so let me get latest from this one. Here we go. Okay, so let me run these tests again and let's see if we can make this work. Okay, so this is good. And then let's go down to, so in this timeline component that you have here, let's go into basis views, components, timelines, timeline component, and we only displayed the content there. And you have the post views and the post view, but we didn't display titles or anything, right? So
Mm,
I'm gonna make a test that fails, and the test will say you need to also verify that you also have the content and the title in there, right? I mean, the title would be the author, right?
mhm.
So let's do
For
this.
example. Mhm.
Right, so components for each, let's see if we can pull this guy. Dot to list for each component. Let's see why this guy's not coming. Come on. Okay, for each component. So what are we trying to do? We need to go and say, uh, so this post component is basically the card, right? So I want to go and say, um, um, uh, let's see, Boolean component content exists like this, and I want to go here and say, what is my expected? These are the contents. This is the expected post views. So expected post views 80, right? And this is a post view. So we're trying to find where the component dot
Title.
instant yeah instance
Oh,
dot content equal post view dot content, right? Post view dot content. So that's one. This one here, just for our own sanity, this one should pass. And I'm gonna hold off and then add more to it. But let's see why this guy's mad. Content.
because
Oh,
it's like a render fragment.
because yeah, because this guy's like a render fragment. That's right. Because we pass in a bunch of things in there. Should we control this to be just a text for now? You know, until we determine.
What
Uh,
goes in there?
because how are we gonna get? Um, how are we gonna get that from? I mean, I guess we can create like a render fragment content that kind of matches this guy. You can always do that. There's a way where you can go and say, here's my expected content. So you can go here and say component. Um, let's see, component. You can actually go and create like a something like this, and you can go here and actually add something like label. Yeah. And then you can go and say, give me the actual component there. So I can go down here. Eagle Hansen was showing me this the other day. It was pretty mind-blowing, actually. It's pretty cool. So in here, he basically is going and saying this let's see, post view, expected post view. Yeah, so I need to pass this guy in there, and then we need to match these components. Okay, I'll create a quick function for it. But let's see, if I leave it like this, does it? Let's see, new. No, it's something like, let's see here. Let's see how this guy did it. He has like a quick trick here where he can go and say, give me a sec. Let's see. So here's this guy. Let's see, B unit, testing. Here we go. And then I can go here. Find markup matches. There it is. There it is. We can do that. So let's go down here. There it is. So you can go here and say content dot markup matches or something like this actually. Component dot markup matches like this. And you can go here and say label like this. And then inside this guy you can go and say, but I want that from the content itself. I don't want it from the actual component. Let's see here. Can I actually get the, because this guy, this content guy is also, is there an instance on this guy? There isn't. What does this guy have? It's just a render fragment, right? So I wonder if we can extract like a component from that render fragment somehow. Let's see. I'll try this. Dot markup dot contains label slash, and I think you put it in a label, right? Or did you just pass the content there? I think you put it in a,
Like the card base, it's only getting like a content, so it's like a pure render fragment, and then you can choose basically whatever, right? Or
okay,
you mean
so,
on the timeline component
oh,
itself?
no, no, yeah, you put
Then
it in
it's
a
like
P.
a array. Yeah.
You put it in a P. Okay, perfect. Let's do that. P, paragraph. Let's go put that in there. So that's paragraph. And then I can go here and say pulse view dot content. So this guy, technically, it should pass because I'm gonna go here and say component content exist should be true. So for each one of those, it's validating and saying, are you actually validating? Do you actually have this content? So let's run this and see if it actually works. If it doesn't work, then something is up. And then if it works, then we're gonna have to add more conditions in there and see if we actually got to this level.
Rendered.
So it looks like it passed. Does that mean that if I go also don't take the word for it. Let's induce anxiety here and just let's say XYZ like this and let me save and let me run this test. This test should fail technically.
Mm.
Why?
The
Because
content
the
is not
content doesn't
there.
exist. There you go. See?
Mm.
Yep. How
Can you try to do it with the label? What when we change this P to label, let's say? Will this also
and then it
work?
will fail, right? Okay, let's see. Yeah,
Mm.
let's try it. There you go. Right.
And
Because
it's
if
pretty cool. Mm.
yeah, yeah. This is all Eagle stuff. He's pretty cool. He's a pretty good guy. Okay, so here's we joke and all, but he's a pretty smart guy. So, okay, so there's that part, but we also want to add more stuff here. We want to go here and say, well, that's one part, right? Of course, we clean that up in a bit, but I also want to go here and say and component dot markup should contain what else? It should contain the post view dot date. Did you put in there the updated date or the created date?
I think we have nothing yet in place, but we can
Oh
so
yeah,
you
that's
can
a
like
requirement.
decide. Yeah, that's so you given it like how you want it. Let's say.
Okay, and this update, I'll take the updated date and I'll just do this, Stanislav. Check this out. I'm gonna go here and format that date a little bit. So I'm gonna go here and say I want month, right? So that's a month. Do you see that
Mhm.
little autocomplete? It's pretty damn cool. This is a new one. And then I'm gonna go here and say year. And I don't know, Brian Parker was saying something like we need the hour and the day. How about I give you a day? So December 2nd, let's see, day of the week. Yeah, day of the week is pretty cool. What would that look like? It would be like Monday.
I think it will write the word then. Yeah, when you put three. Mhm.
But that would
Right.
be like 6th of Monday. Like, let's try it, okay? So DDD and then year. How about that? Have I
Mm.
ever told you about a library called Humanize?
No, no, not yet.
We're
What
gonna
is it?
incorporate this library Humanize. Let me show you what this library Humanize does, and then we'll go back to this. So Humanize will take a date, and it will tell you this was done yesterday, 2 months ago, 3 days ago.
Um,
So let me
okay,
show
so
you.
we have like the context of when the date was.
In a readable language, humanize.net. Check this out. I love this library. We'll use it too. Check. So this library goes here and says, let me show you a real life example. So it humanizes a lot of things, but the one thing that is like even case statements and stuff like that. Like for instance, if you have sentence casing like this, it can transform that into a lowercase. But if you have like canned return title case, it will make it canned return title case. See this?
Mm.
So all the
So
kind of
break
human
it
is
down.
yeah, but the one I want to show you is the date one. Check this one. Date time UTC now add hours 30 humanize, it will return yesterday or 2 hours ago or tomorrow or an
Mm.
hour from now. That's what
That's
we want to
nice.
add in our social media, but we'll come back to this one. This is just another
Mm.
step. One crazy at a time, okay? So
Yeah, right, right. But
so
it's awesome, awesome that you showed it. Yeah, I
yeah,
never heard of
yeah,
it. I guess
yeah.
many of the people will also not.
Would
But
actually
yeah,
benefit
cool.
from that. Yeah. That's the whole point, right? See, pair programming is great. You get to share stuff.
Mhm.
So okay, for now, I'm just saying, month, day, and the year, and this is it's gonna be like September, Monday, let's say September 2nd. I wanted to say second, third, something like that. Let's see if I can find that in there. Third is 3RD, so 3Ds, abbreviated, day of the week. This just will say, do I just, okay, fine. Let's just do it this way for now. DD, MM, the digits, and then year. Just for now. So this is an,
One to menu, right?
uh,
Or can you do it five? What is?
oh yeah, I'm just, my brain is just starting still. Okay, so there's that, and then also component. dot markup. What else do we want there? We have the date. We need the author, right? So post view dot author in there. So it needs to contain this guy as well. So now this test is gonna fail, Stanislav, right? Because it's not matching what we've generated, right?
Mm.
Here it is. It's failing, right? Now it's your turn, my friend, to make it pass. Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun. Fail. Let's go. Your turn. I switched over to your screen.
Mm-hmm. So let me check that the changes come in. Yeah, there it is. So let's make sure that we have the failing test. Yeah. So the P in the content we already have, but we
Yeah.
also want to have the updated date.
Mm-hmm.
So here, and on the card we I don't know if we verify that we only can put it here or generically in the whole card. I need to
Or
check.
for the title, oh, just pass in there like in the yeah, you just want to pass in the title for actually the title should say author says or said, but we can leave it at the author for now. So let's
Mm,
just pass the author there from your post
okay.
view.
Hmm.
And then the subtitle will have the date, right? I think.
So there is the
Mm-hmm.
author and then the subtitle.
Mm-hmm. You still want to like map it.
Oh, right. It's like DD.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
Let's see. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, and then let's check. Nice.
Nice. How about that, right? Let's run it end to end with this passing test and see if that works. It's a single arrow. Single arrow.
Oh, okay. I always do this.
You're going too
It's like,
fast. You're going way too fast. Okay, perfect. All right.
okay, so let's see, but yeah,
You
I'm
probably you
still
probably you probably want to get your API running.
I still running it, so I don't
Mm,
shut it
mm,
down now.
mm. Nice.
Okay, so we have like the
So
yeah,
here's
there's like the name.
so
We had
do
like
do me a
yes.
favor. Let's go to
Mhm.
Twitter and let's copy real life content in your database so we can see it the way it is. What do you think about that?
Okay, say again. So how about how we
Let's
should do
go.
it?
By the way, before that, why are the dates funny looking? Is it
Mm.
localizing it to like German dates or something?
Yeah, but what is 48?
But what the
I'm
heck
not.
is 48?
I don't know.
What's oh
This is crazy.
MM lowercase is the minute, brother. It has to be MM
Ah,
uppercase. Yep.
no, but what? Okay, so we need to, I guess, then also and
The test
change
is
for
gonna
the
blow up, of
test.
course. Oh, it'll definitely blow up. This is awesome.
Now this is pretty amazing. Yeah, that it
Yeah,
works really like to checking everything.
yeah, yeah. It's test driven. It's not even good enough. I'm just kind of I'm just chilling out. It's not good enough. I'll tell you when it gets really persistent.
So now it's good. Yeah, the issues that we had like before, like the IDs, right, for
Right.
authors. That's
Let,
that's why
let's
it's
go to the
showing like
yeah,
this.
let's go to the database and put just a random people name. Let's put all your friends in there. Let's put a bunch of random people there.
Mm.
What
Okay.
should what, uh
How you do it like most efficiently. I do it also always
Oh,
like with
so
Postman.
open up your IDE, open up your IDE with the core project running, and just
Mm-hmm.
click view.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then just go to SQL Object Explorer, and then expand on your local host, and then database, and then Taarafo, and then right click on that guy. Let's see, expand the tables. You want to expand the tables, and then right click on the posts, and then you want to say edit. Let's see view data. I think view data will do the trick for you. Yeah, you can edit
Mm-hmm.
the data from here. So we need real content, brother. This content is okay, but we need real content. So let's just put Adam Smith in there, maybe in the author, maybe John Nash, a bunch of crazy people, you know, John Nash, we can put in there. Sure, Joe Nash works too. Yeah, just a bunch of names. Just even copy the same name and slap it over. Adam
Well,
Joe.
it's hard to think about names, right?
Oh, I can give you names for days. Michael Jordan, Michael Smith, you know, Jim Halpert, Pam Halpert, Michael Scott.
Scotty.
Is this TV show The Office popular in Germany? Do you guys know about it?
Yeah, I know it, but I did not watch
Nobody
it. So
watches it. Just people. I saw that people in Europe would watch it and be like, "What is this clown show? This is not like people are working or anything." Random name. Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's just copy or either copy. We need to copy as much. Yeah, there you go. I wonder if it would let you copy across rows. No, it'll copy all
I,
of them.
I
Yikes.
think I have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6,
Okay,
3, 6. Then maybe it's gonna work. No.
it's impossible. I really highly doubt it. Would it? No. Just copy John Nash. John Nash likes to talk. Let's take John and let's just put him all over the place. Scottie Pippen. Nice. Nice.
You know what?
Do you know who John Nash is though? He's a pretty smart mathematician. He died recently, but he invented a theory called the equilibrium. They made a movie about him. Russell Crowe played him. It's very interesting. There you go.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
now we need we
okay.
need we need some really meaty content. Like we can't just have one word in there. So this is where we go in. You can either choose lorem ipsum or just copy some
Uh-huh.
content from Twitter. I don't care. Either way is fine. There it is. What is this text copier in? Copy text?
Yeah,
Is that what
it's copy. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yep, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I
Guys,
most often use like the actual mouse like shortcuts or whatever instead of the keyboards because of the work. I have to always switch the keyboards back and forth, and it's
mm,
really hard to have like this muscle memory for keyboards.
gotcha, gotcha. So you
So
see, I see now why it's displaying. So even though the date is supposed to be a slash slash, it's displaying the date with the dot because it's localizing. That's insane, man. That's pretty cool.
into the database, it's localizing it. Mhm.
Yeah, this is localized. Okay, cool. Yeah, refresh the database and let's go. Now we're gonna have the real content. Welcome to the desert of the real.
Some of them we missed, but but now we have like
Look at that. Look at
it
that, my
looks
friend.
pretty good actually.
Yeah,
For
it's a social media platform. Wait till Chris Dutoit, that guy from England. He's gonna he has a French name though. I don't know. We need to bring him over and see what he's up to. I wonder if I can actually pull him in while we're working on this. That would be insane. Let's see.
yeah, Let's check it out.
Yeah. So what's the next step? We want to basically be able to centralize this as a timeline. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Also, here's a crazy question for you. Should we put the person and the date in the in at the bottom or at the top?
I, yeah, it's debatable. I'm not. I would say the date like below, but you need somehow like a kind of title, right? I would guess so. With the
So,
name, it's also pretty cool, I guess.
so you want to put the name up but the date below.
Yeah, or like to the side, maybe, right? So like somewhere here.
Okay. And we also need to add a menu at the top right corner, right?
Mhm.
Damn, this looks pretty good. We need a little bit of a space like a margin. Let's go back to your base component real quick and let's see what we can do with it.
Mhm. So right here, or you mean like to the card,
No,
or
actually, inside that card base, do you see the card base itself? Right, I wonder if we can add CSS to that. Would it allow us to?
I guess so. But I think we so like to the timeline component CSS, you mean, right?
Yeah,
That's what we need.
we just want to
Yeah.
like a tiny space there, between every card and the next, basically.
Mhm. So let me first add like the
CSS.
CSS file. I think it's like this, right? Blazor CSS. Is it good? And then there would be like card,
Yeah, dot card.
dot card.
Yeah, because it's a class, right? In CSS, it's like a class. So just one dot, one dot. Okay, and then you just do um,
Margin.
margin um, 3px, 5px.
Sure, we can try.
Okay,
Okay, let's go.
but does the card actually have that class in it?
Yeah, that would be inter, but it seems not right. So, but we
It's
can.
not gonna work until you put the class on the card, right?
It's called.
Look how crazy this
There's.
thing is. It's scaling. Do you see how it's
It's
stretching and expanding?
it's actually called e card.
Yeah, let's do the e-card then. Right.
Mm. Okay, let me check again. It should work, right? 50%. Maybe because it's like a no margin.
Okay, we might actually be able to bring Chris Dutoit over here.
Mm.
I hope I'm saying his name right. I never met the guy in person.
It doesn't like apply the class
It doesn't
actually.
apply
So
it either. So if you do Control Shift R to actually enforce that guy, does it do anything at all?
there's like no
Oh,
spacing,
that's
I guess.
annoying.
What when we can we do like ID?
Well, you're not allowing it in your component unless you make it a parameter. It's not gonna just gonna show up, right? What happens if you do CSS class?
You say here class, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, class, and then pass in some class to it. Let's say call it like social media post or social post, right? And then create that class on the CSS and see what happens.
Mhm.
Yep, yep. Let's see. It should work technically. Oh, what happened? Oh my God, look who's joining us.
Hi,
Hi,
hello.
hi, Chris.
Hey,
Chris, how do I say your name? I know the Chris part, but what about the last part?
Christo.
Oh, Christo, just
Yeah,
Christo. Okay.
yeah,
Is it Christo Dutoit? Is that how you say the whole name?
yeah. You can say that.
Are you
I'm actually from South Africa, so we pronounce it Christo de Toy.
oh, Dutui. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
that means we're cousins. You know that, right? Because I'm from Egypt. We're
Ah,
from the same continent. So Stanislav here is the foreigner. He's the
foreigner.
he's So hey Chris, I wanted to just show you something real quick. I'm sorry I pinged you on such a short notice, and it's nice to meet you, sir.
yeah.
Thank you for all the great work that you do on this open source project, man. You're amazing. You know that. You're a very smart
Thank you.
guy. Okay, so let me just show you this. Well, first of all, this is Stanislaw down here. You probably saw him before in some
Yeah. Hello.
videos. Yeah, he did something really cool. Stanislaw, do you want to run your app and show Chris what you're doing? Because what the
Right.
work that he's doing with the comments actually goes right into the work that you and I are doing right now. Just run the app and show him the. So this is the timeline, Chris, right? It's not much, but it's great, right? So if you scroll down, see we're building the timeline. So for every person, it puts the date and it puts the content, right? Now you and I might need to pair together where we need to put in the comment section under that guy. So
Okay.
if
Yeah. Yeah.
but there will be two pieces of this, right? Because we want to have like a text box that allows people to add a new comment and just click post. And then there is the actual previous comments to that comment. For now, we'll keep it flat. I know you wanted to make like the nested comments kind of
Oh
thing,
yeah.
but
Wanted to
we could
make it future proof. Yeah.
yeah. But we could start somewhere, right? If we
Yeah.
can start somewhere, man, this is amazing. I mean, we're putting this out there. Anybody can now spin up their own kind of thing. But I just wanted you to see this and see if you had any ideas or any thoughts. Do you think that would work for us, with the little card and the text in it or anything at all?
Yeah. It looks
we,
nice.
we're
Okay.
trying to do like the margin, but we are. I'm not like a UI guy, so it's like pretty hard to find out how we separate those cards.
That's the thing about Blazor though. See, so Stanislav is a back-end guy, like heavy back-end guy, and he just developed his own like timeline, from scratch. I think your best option there is if you do right click and inspect or whatever the thing that shows up when you do right click. And if you go into so go up by one. Do you see that E card one at the top? Yeah, pick up any one of these. Yeah, that's your guy
Mhm.
right there. And then click on this guy, and then in the element style under width 50%, take a new one. Do you see the styles? Do you see the styles?
So like edit here. You mean here,
Yeah,
right?
right here. Yeah, just type in margin and then maybe 10px for now. Here's your guy. So how about we do margin top and margin bottom 10px so these cards are not doing the so just margin dash top.
Mhm. Oh.
Yikes. What are we gonna do about this guy, Chris? Or Christo? Christo. Okay.
Yeah. Anyone is fine.
Anyone
Don't
is
mind.
okay? Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of good friends. They're called Chris. That's Christopher Bergman. I have a lot of good friends. Okay. 5px. Yeah, that should do the trick. Look at that. Do you see it? And maybe, what do you guys think if we made the borders a little bit more clear? See, the border color is a little vague, right? So if you do border, no, this one,
Yeah.
this one is gonna take the whole page. Try it. Try it. Type border dash color and see what happens.
Border
Dash
dash
color.
color.
Yep, and just do black or something. Look what happens. Look. Oh, nice. Nice. So maybe a little bit of a darker gray would do the trick, because I can't see like the post color really. Where you going? This guy's
Like
too tired. So So what time is it in England, Chris? Chris,
It's 5 o'clock now.
5 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the end.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks great. So where are we gonna put these? We're gonna put them in the base component. Wherever we put that 50% width.
Mhm.
How about that? That looks pretty darn good. So Chris, did you have any questions for me about the comments, or are you good? I just merged your PR. Actually,
Oh,
no, I
okay.
actually wanted you to break your PR into smaller PRs. So every function of these brokers should have its own PR for a reason, because sometimes we revert. I don't want to revert all your work if we need to revert something.
Okay.
Would that be
Yeah.
okay? Okay, perfect.
I can do that. Yeah. For the brokers, I thought I'd do the four of them together because there's no unit test or anything like that involved. So I
That's
thought it'd
right.
be a quicker one. So I thought to break up the services. But if you want me to do it on brokers, I can.
Please do. I know you're now in this mode where like I've done 50,000 brokers. I could just write the whole project in one PR. And I
Yeah.
do want that too, but if you do it this way, it would be easy for me to go map. You saw this project get file, right? When you go into get file and you see people contributions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stanislav, so did you see the part where there's opportunities? And in these opportunities, I put documentation and examples and code.
Oh
if
yeah.
if you make it one PR at a time, I can actually map the exact requirement to the exact PR. So the next time someone says, I want to see an example of, a get all from an API, I can map it to that exact PR that you have. Also,
Okay.
my
Yeah.
also my friend, if you create like 5 PRs, that's like 25 points. Don't you want me to make you marketable if you go through this?
Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah. I
know,
can do that. Yeah.
so if you scroll down all the way down to the opportunities, Stanislav,
I
you'll
was
see.
more thinking in terms of productivity between the check-in approvals and that. Um, so that's
I'll
why
merge your PRs now.
no, I'll do
Look,
that
look,
later
look at these
tonight.
code examples. Look at these code examples. I still have some work to do on these because in here, if you do it, data is okay, but in the brokers, the part where it says make delete phone or select by ID, it doesn't really go to an exact example of that. And I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah.
make it exactly the same. So if you break
Yeah.
those PRs, you get more points. People get to look
Okay.
at
Yeah.
exact sample of
I'll
code.
I'll, I'll do that for you.
Okay. I have I have this buddy of mine from South Africa. His name is Paul Higgs. I like him a lot. He was like my next door neighbor at work, and his office was right next to mine, and we used to joke a lot. He had his
Mm.
South African flag in the office.
Yeah. We tend to do that. We're very proud of our flag.
What do you call your soccer team? The Bavana Bavana? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Bafana Bafana. Yeah.
So Stanislav, which is better, South African soccer team or football team or the German football team? What do you think? Let's start a war while we're at it.
like
Let's start a
soccer
war.
football or like American football, you say?
No soccer football. Nobody plays that crazy American football except for Americans.
I did also play it like in Germany, so
You pl- you
but
you played American football in Germany,
yeah, so
and
I
you
like
didn't
American
get a
football. Yeah.
concussion or anything. You
Oh,
still.
I did. I had like three times ACL. So
Oh my God! And you still write
yeah,
code?
yeah, but it was on my knee, right? That's why.
Oh, that's right.
No, but it's all good. I think maybe now the South African are better than German. No, I'm
So, so,
just
so
kidding.
you played American football. Are you tall, Stanislav? How much are you in centimeters? I guess because it's
No,
real world metrics.
185, so
Oh my
not a lot.
Lord. Okay. I'm
Not this much.
189, so I'm actually taller than you. What
Yeah.
about you,
So,
Chris? Are you taller than both of us? You look like you're gonna be
Yeah.
taller than both of us combined.
I'm your length as well. Yeah. Same length. Yeah.
Nice.
187.
187? Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to, have your take. I know kids are home and all that. So if you want to hang out with us a little bit or, if you want to drop off, whatever you want, we'll just continue to push through this. We just did some crazy things with, the unit tests. You'll see that, Stanislav, do you want to show Chris the unit testing? Hey Chris, have you done any UI before with Blazor?
I'm a newbie on Blazor. I've not done any Blazor work.
Oh, that makes me very happy. You're gonna
Yeah,
love the stuff that we do here,
I,
man.
I've got a lot of to learn. So my front end stuff way back started with knockout spas, and I've since done some React work.
Yeah,
But I've not really played with Blazor because I've never been able to use it in the workplace. So,
nice,
but yeah,
nice.
keen to learn.
Yeah,
Um,
me too. I'm trying to
Same
learn
for me.
too.
Yeah.
I should have you meet Brian Parker at some point in time, Chris. You would love that guy. He's really cool. He's really, really cool, and he knows a lot of stuff. Um, he's been in the tech industry for a very long time, and he knows a lot of stories, about, how things evolved, throughout the years, and he comes up with some crazy ideas, especially with Blazor. Like Blazor is his thing. He loves Blazor. He likes to play around with, certain components and stuff like that, and I really appreciate him as a friend too. Okay, so there's that. I guess the only thing that's left for us is to centralize that timeline, and look at you, you developed an entire timeline. I think Chris, I think the real challenge that we're gonna have with the timeline and the comments is that there will be a point in time where two instances of Taarafo, because that's how we're building it. Everybody can spin up their own instance, right? So maybe there is maybe you spin up the developers, the Blazor developers in England instance, and Stanislav doing the Blazor developers in Germany instance, and I'm doing the Blazor development in Redmond instance. We can connect these instances to each other. But when they connect to each other, that means people can see each other's posts from different instances, and they
okay,
can
yeah.
comment on each other posts. And that, my friend, is an architectural problem that we need to think about. Why?
Mm,
Because these instances can also detach.
yeah.
Right? So let's say we connected to the Blazor developers in Redmond, and we found out that they're a bunch of jackasses. We don't want to talk to them anymore, right? So we detached the instance completely from them. Does that mean we get a copy of their comments? Does that mean,
Mm,
what I'm thinking about? And Stanislav, I need your brain on this too. Imagine if the post itself is hosted on the instance, then all the comments go to that post. What do you think about that? I think that's pretty crazy, right?
Mm.
yeah.
So it would be what? Mm.
It could be an easy fix because then all the history lives with the parent of.
Right. So the history goes to the parent instead of the actual host. I'm thinking like, let me try to visualize this, because I think that if we
Mm.
if your time allows, I don't want to take too much of your time, guys. I hope that's okay. It's just gonna take a minute.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
okay time-wise. It might just be noisy with the kids if they storm in.
no worries. No worries.
I'm after work also, so all
Yep.
day.
Yep. Yep. So okay, so imagine this. So this is one instance in here. And this is another instance of Taarafo, right? That's the whole point. It's decentralized. Anybody can spin up their own instance, right? And let's say the admins of these groups decided to connect to each other, right? So let's say you have a post in here. This is a post in here. So that's your post. And under that post, there's a bunch of comments. So this is the comment section in here. So here's this comment, and there's another comment, and there's another comment, right? Now, these comments, since these two instances are connected to each other, this comment could be native. This comment, native meaning it's actually coming from a user on that instance, right? But someone from the other instance in here, like a guy that's sitting in here, is hosted in here, they can't see that post in here, right? What that basically means is that we can go here and say external. This is an external comment, meaning someone who's not necessarily living on this particular instance is posting against it. So my thoughts is we want to keep that comment in here and host it in here in the external. It's external to this user, but it's native or local to this one, right? The problem with that is what does that mean in terms of, like, my original idea is that if two instances detached from each other, so is every content from one instance and the other. They just disappear. All the comments, all the posts, all the interactions, they just vanish. So what do you guys think about that? What's
Um,
best? Hmm.
if the comments vanish, then
You lose history.
you lose history, but it will also make it okay. I know I had the idea of nested comments in there, but if there's a comment tree from then a bunch of comments below somebody's comment will also then disappear. That will
Yep,
be in your
because it's the
um,
node. That's right.
yeah.
So what should we do? Should we put copies on both sides? Like, should we copy
Um,
that's not very efficient. We're just polluting everyone's instance with
yeah.
data.
And I
Do you,
think maybe like everything written on like the one instance stays there as long as you want. Because when you would delete it like this, then you would also destroy the context, right, of the whole.
ooh, that too. That too.
Yeah.
And also like in Facebook groups, if you kick someone out of a group, their comment stays there, even if they're not a member of that group anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be better. And if you say something, here's the thing, think about it this way. You're going into someone else's house, right? And this someone else is telling you, hey, by the way, I have the camera on. So whatever you say in this house is gonna stay in this house,
Yeah.
right? Whether
Mm.
you as a person physically left the house or not. See, these are the kind of technical problems that you won't see anywhere because we're introducing a new social media concept, and then we run into these problems. And now that we're solving for comments, you're gonna have to solve for this problem, right? I think if we keep the comments on the post itself, that would work. I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
so. So it would
Right.
so that external comment will stay saved on even if the user itself. But then what happens with the user mapping? Because you have a relational database model. What are you going to do with the user mapping? Are you going to copy the user over to your instance?
I mean, when he's then gone, that it's gonna be not there anymore, or maybe we should not tighten the comment
To an
after
author.
they posted to the author name or whatever.
What do you think about that, Chris?
Yeah. I saw that you did a pull request where the author was made string.
Yeah,
So that would make it easy. Um, the only difficult thing there is if somebody do wants to destroy all their own posts, then you don't have
you
a
don't have a
ID.
connection.
Yeah.
And by the way, changing the author to a string, that's also temporary. We're actually going to need to create an author entity and have that author ID in there and then link those
Mm,
together. But that's something Brian and I are, planning to do together. So that's okay for now. Stanislav just did what makes it work, what would
mm,
make it get it working. And I try to propagate this a lot, Chris. I try to tell people, hey, don't write your code as if you're, you know, putting it in a stone, right? Write
yeah.
it and know that you're going to come back and actually fix it. Okay. So here's the thing. What are we gonna do about the relational model, you guys? Because that basically means, okay, we do know that the comment is external, right? Maybe we could apply different rules to an external comment, but how is that gonna work in terms of relational model? It's insane. Do we make the author ID nullable? Ugh, that's disgusting. Let's not do
Don't
that.
don't want to do that now.
Yeah, that's just literally hacking nonsense, you know? So,
So maybe it would be like regular that you can like delete because we want to keep the delete, the update, and of posts
mhm,
that we have
mhm,
this relation.
mhm.
But maybe before we change the post or delete the post, the user has to be still like a valid member of this group, right? And once he's not anymore, then he
But they're
cannot
but they're
update
not.
his post.
But wait, they're
Um,
not. They're not. Yeah, go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Mhm.
the way I almost see it is you create a local instance of that user with a brand new
Mm,
primary key, and then similar to I almost think in the old days how you did the identity workers. If you link up your external account,
mhm.
those
It
two are
creates
then
a. Oh, I like that.
yeah.
And then we mark that user as external.
Yeah. And then at least you've got that linked relationship between the external account and the same user, which is on your local entity.
And it will also give the group the instance admin the ability to go at any point in time and say, give me all the external users on the system and give me all their comments.
Yeah.
And then go ahead and I guess that would work. What do you
So
think,
so
Stanislav?
one so one user would then have like many external accounts, let's say, right? For
Only
every.
if they comment. Only if they comment. If they're, what do you think about that, Chris? So it will be like it would be like ensure author exists. If a comment is coming through, it will go through an orchestration service, and the service will say, call an author processing service and ensure it exists
Yeah.
before you actually continue and add that comment in the section. Oh, that works.
Mm.
You guys are smart. You guys are pretty darn smart. And then you know you're basically saying just be aware that if you leave a comment, it's like entering a country. You have to present your passport and they have to take a record of you, right? They're gonna have to say, okay, this guy entered the country, so we know this guy and we have a record on him in this country as a visitor, right? It's like a
Mm.
visa.
Yeah.
Okay, you're entering an instance. Know for a fact that you will be able to view the view the
Yeah.
this is see this is a technical
Mm.
problem that is very rare to run into because it's all about, by the way, just letting you guys know, Taarafo is just the beginning. I want to build multiple instances that follow the same pattern. Like imagine video sharing content like YouTube, right? YouTube today, everything is saved in the same box. Well, it's not really a same box, but it's under the same company that has multiple instances, right? But imagine if you want to share your own video content, you own the content, and you're just merging with other networks. So now
Yeah.
they can see your content and you can see theirs, right? You know, if we do this, you never have to worry about non-friendly or violent or non-kid friendly content ever again. Because why would a parent merge with creep.com,
Mm.
network? And it's very controlled because you know who, like imagine your next door neighbors, for instance, right? And you are friends with them, so you're merging both your instances together. So now you get to comment on each other's content. Nobody can invade that network. It's
Yeah.
super good. It's super good. Um, and there's nobody that is setting themselves as a morale police telling you what you can say and what you can't say and all that kind of stuff. You get to just tell people, hey, I am crazy and I'm gonna put crazy stuff out there and you know
Mm.
you know what I mean? This is why I'm calling it engineering free speech. I'm
Yeah.
literally saying you say whatever you want, but you're responsible for your own acts, but nobody will come in and say, no, we don't want you in here. If there's a group of people that are saying crazy stuff, just don't attach yourself to that crazy ship. It's like ships in the ocean, and they get really closer to each other and they're exchanging goods. The good old pirate way, Chris. I thought that
Kindly
was
exchanges.
I thought that was what the peer-to-peer networks were. Do you guys remember how the peer-to-peer you would have your own? Do you guys remember Kaza? That was probably before Stanislav age. No,
Yeah.
you're 30 years old. You should know what this is.
I
Do you
know
remember
P2P, but not like Casa,
not Kaza? Do you remember Kaza, Chris? It got
Yes.
really
Yeah.
popular, and then Torrent started to show up, and then I think there was a whole bunch of things, and you're hosting the files on your computer. You're downloading the file, you're hosting on your computer, and then your computer becomes a server,
Yeah.
right? This is why it was really hard to control these guys because it's really decentralized. It's all over the place. And I don't know, maybe they were influenced by Git. Who knows? I don't know. Git is built this way. You're taking your own copy, it lives on your computer, whatever the case may be. Anyway, I think we can do that. Let's just keep that in mind, Chris, because that's if you're
Mm.
doing the comments. Okay, now let's throw another crazy one at you guys. Should we allow external users to post on
That
the
will
t
depend on your joining permissions because it'll be
ah
view. It could be one way or two way.
so view and comment and post. Oh my God, this is getting better and better. This is just this is just
yeah,
getting
this is good.
crazy. Nice. But why would you post on someone else's timeline when If you post on your timeline, it will show up on the other timeline anyway. Unless the instance itself has groups and you're joining a group within the instance. It's like Facebook groups, right? So there's the instance and there's a bunch of subgroups in that instance. Yeah, I can see that. It would make sense. You could post directly on the, I like that.
Because the posts would then be like major topics and the comments would be then more of like knowledge about it, and then it's like a higher power, let's say, to create a post that you see more directly, right? Instead of,
Nice.
for example, 1,000 comments that people need to scroll or
I like that. I like that. By the way, gentlemen, brace yourselves because we didn't even touch on uploading pictures, drag and drop in the comment, maybe adding in a video. The crazy part is when you add in a the oh wait, look at that. Someone just wants trying to join us. Look at this. Hi, friend.
Hey, how are you?
Brian.
Hey, everyone.
How long have you
Hello.
been sitting in the waiting room?
Oh, only for about 10 minutes. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I
Yeah.
just saw your comment pop up and I was like, so Brian, just to catch you up, you'll find this really interesting. We're talking about merging like two social media instances merging together. And then let's say Chris, this is Chris, by the way. He's a
Hi,
very
Chris.
smart guy and I like him a lot,
Hi, Brian.
and Chris is posting on a post that's on your instance on Taarafo. So imagine this, he's posting a comment over there. And we were talking about, should we copy the user, take a copy of an external user and put it on that database? Let me go back here and share my screen just to show you what we're doing. I'm really interested to see what you think about that, Brian. It's really interesting. Go ahead there. Okay, can you guys see my screen? I think you would do
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So check this out. So this is instance 1 and this is instance 2. And then let's say this is Chris here and he is posting on Brian's network. So this is your instance. So now his comment becomes external, but what we just came into conclusion is that we're gonna get a copy of your profile in here. So even though these two are two different networks, two different instances of Taarafo, one of them is taking a copy of your profile so it can make the relational database model with the comment. What do you think about that?
Yeah. As long as the original source has control over that user, they might ban that user after they've made the comment. So what happens?
So if this user, once the user posts a comment in here, that content belongs to that instance.
Mm-hmm.
We should still also allow, what do you guys think about this? We should still allow the external user to delete their own content if they want to. That should be okay, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What happens if the owner of the other service decides one of the users is a bad actor and they don't want any of their comments anymore?
So
How do
even
they-
the better, now that we have a copy of that user, they can ban them or like ban the user, like basically say this user block. Chris was just talking about something really interesting. He said when you're joining a network, when you're actually merging two instances together, because you
Mhm.
will have a one-man instance, like one person who has his own instance and they're joining just other groups. And that's totally okay. You could own your own ship and just go out there in the world. That means you own your own content and nobody has control over it. But he said something interesting. He said when you configure two instances to merge together, you have to specify what permissions you want to allow the users in the external service to have. Can they view? Can they view and post? I mean, the basic right is view, right, Chris? So we don't have to
Yeah.
configure that one. So view is already there. That's like right 0, and then right 1 to actually comment, right? And then right 2 to actually post posts on that other external source. So now that you have a particular user in another instance, now you can control, you can block them, you can let them just be a viewer. Facebook calls it mute a user, right?
Yeah. But sorry, just sort of thinking out loud again. So
Mm.
I've got a instance, and I've got a couple of people that represent my organisation, and
Okay.
then they've gone and publicly posted on someone else's instance,
Right.
and I no longer agree with their points of view. So how do I
Oh,
tell?
for you as an admin?
Yeah.
Oh.
So how do I tell that other person's instance that I no longer support this person?
Mm.
You see my point?
And that's as realistic as it can get, actually. That's very real. You could have people on your network, and then one of them just went out there on another instance and they said some crazy nonsense. And you don't want the admin of the other instance to completely cut off everybody just because of one lunatic,
Mm-hmm.
right? Should we give the should we give
Maybe
this
pass through some sort of status.
You can extend your permissions to exclude somebody from that sharing agreement between the top entities. So, say by default, everybody, once you join another network, they've got access to that network. But if they no longer represent your entity, then you can disconnect. That person can then still function in his own entity, but not external.
Yeah, but if they posted on your instance opinions and they're sort of representing me, and I don't, and 2 weeks down the track, I'm thinking, oh, this guy's really lost the plot. I really don't want him representing me anymore. Maybe on your instance, I need to somehow show that this guy no longer represents me or my
or
organization.
or or here's an idea. If you ban this, do you want to ban this person from your instance?
Well, if it was my instance, yes, he'd be gone, but he's already made comments, you see.
Right. So if you ban him on your instance, it should send a status, just like you were saying earlier. It should send a status, and it will show up right next to his name
That he no
in the
longer,
comment that says something like disowned.
something
So-
like that.
something that says this guy in his homeland, in his own instance, people are mad at him. Just letting you know. And then let the admin of the other group decide whether, okay,
Yes.
what about this, you guys? Should we allow people to jump ship? Here's
Why not?
another crazy scenario for you. So the person wants to transfer his account and his credentials to a new instance, a new ship. So even if that original instance detached, he can still connect to the external one because that's where he lives now. How about that?
Well, my thoughts is immediately it will be possible immediately, because if you think of websites that was implemented on identity server, if you sign in the first time, say with a Google account, it creates a local account for you anyway in your database.
Yep,
And if
yep.
that's the case, then next time you've got an account on that other entity anyway. So you could add validation rules on that to say you still need to confirm your email address and all that, but based on the trust relationship, we already allow you in based on that other login
Mhm.
to see. But if you log into my entity, you still have to go through that validation process to validate your email and all that. So an entity can then freely move around. But I think if we create an entity in um, another instance because of a comment, then that entity is disabled by default until it goes through the validation process of that entity to make it a fully fledged account. You've essentially got the profile and the account there, so it's just a process of making it active for sign-in purposes.
Right, right. What do you think, Stanislav? We lost the guy.
Uh,
Poor
no,
guy
no,
just
you don't
like
lost me, but I'm just thinking about it when you want to keep it like decentralized, then I guess it will not be possible not to spin up just a new instance of your account for whatever reason. But then again, you need to just rejoin all of the things you want to participate back again. Right? But your old
see
stuff would be on the other one. So
see that migration part is the crazy part because you want to still be a part of the other groups, but you will be marked in your original instance as external. And your new instance will say, no, this guy's a local. He actually lives here. His account actually lives here, right? The other crazy part is what happens if the admin decides to detach from another instance in between migration. Like a migration is happening and the admin said detach. We're gonna have to go and say wait before you detach, wait for all transactions to complete. But they can always just go and take down the entire server mid transaction. And now this user is screwed. Well, they're not screwed because we're going to keep a copy until the other copy says I'm completed, and then you delete the existing copy in the. I guess that could work. And also, we want to allow people to kind of replicate themselves across networks. I mean, it seems like a recipe for a virus or a disaster, but if you want to be a citizen of two different instances, of two different countries, why not? I see no reason for that to be a problem.
Right, because people can be like from two countries, right?
They can be. The
Yeah.
crazy part is that they can't exist in two places at the same time. But again, that's the internet. Welcome to the freak
Yeah,
show,
right.
right?
You need to have like some advantage, right? Over
Right.
the real world.
That's right. Anyway,
Yes.
I think that would work. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's quite valid for you to be in like in a sporting group and a work group. You know what I mean? Different organisations, different instances. Yep. So I'm
And then
thinking,
and then we're gonna have to find the distinct because two people could have instances with the exact same name, display name, but their IDs are different, but your user don't see that GUID. So somehow we're gonna need to distinguish between one and another. There's a lot of problems to solve in this solution. But anyway, I guess on the comment section, I think maybe we have consensus. If someone goes and decides to make a post and they have the authority or the permission to make a post, we're just gonna copy the user and just mark it as external. And Chris, we're just copying just basic information about the user, not their credentials or anything to validate against, nothing like that, just the user.
Yeah, so it'll be similar to when you sign into something with Google. There's a basic sharing agreement on that thing to say I can take over your name and your email and maybe phone number for the purposes of signing in, but you're actually creating a fresh new account
Hmm.
in a separate instance, but you're using that information that you took for your sharing agreement, which is basically just name, surname, email for the purpose of establishing that account. And
Chris, what are we gonna do about people who own their own instances and they change the data in the database to incriminate people and make them say things they never said? I guess it's their fault for joining a network of a guy that's shady. Don't go, like here in America, there are certain neighborhoods where you just don't go. You know what I mean? Just don't go there, So, you chose to be working in that instance and the admin is a shady guy. He went in and changed the data and made you say things that you never said. A PGP key would work,
yeah, I was thinking same thing.
but that's too advanced.
Um,
I'm trying to make a grandma in Nebraska post on social media, you know. So PGP is just
um,
anyway. I'll gather you guys together for a discussion like this, but I think this
yeah,
is. I just wanted to kind of like gather you together and just pick your brains on. I guess Ricardo right now is probably very asleep, so I couldn't pull him in, or Sally or any of these folks for that matter. But I really appreciate you guys jumping in on short notice. And Stanislav, let's pick up where we left off, tomorrow if you have time. But other than that, I don't know. Do you guys have any last comments? Anything? Last remarks before I wrap?
no, I'm good.
Okay.
no.
Thank you all for joining in. I appreciate it. I just want you to know that, when I started this project, I was really frustrated with how social media platforms work. It seemed like we're going back into like the dark ages where there's like this one authority that tells people what they can and can't say. And it's not just that, it's abusing people by learning their data and then building prediction models so it can shove ads down their throat. It was really sad just how social media is implemented today. And then I realized it got a little bit deeper than that. Guys, social media platform, how it's implemented today, opens up the door for predators to go after young children. Okay? Because it's open, it's out there in the open. Anybody could contact anybody at any time. There was this guy that made a YouTube video where he creates a fake social media account for like a 13-year-old, and he goes and he sends messages to younger people and tells them, "Hey, come meet me at the garden," on a YouTube video just to show the parents how vulnerable the kids are on these particular platforms, right? The other thing is like the kidnapping, the harassment, teenagers with depression. I have this teenager, I saw the video of this teenager that's saying, I have to continue looking at the social media to see what my friends are going to say about me so I can respond right away. So imagine this mental torment that this person has to go through because that's his school. That's where he goes to get education and build his future, right? And now there's a social media where all his friends are there from school, and he needs to be there all the time to see whether they're going to say something about him or her or not. How crazy is that, right? So the way it's architected today doesn't seem to be helping people connect. It seems to be more like another uh, product that's trying to kind of make money out of people regardless of whether it's helpful for people or not. That's the main reason behind Taarafo. I really don't care. Like I was on a podcast the other day and someone asked me this, how are you gonna make money? I said, well, money's not everything. You know what I mean? Like, if you own a big instance of Taarafo and there's like 500,000 people in it, marketers are gonna approach you as the admin, and then you get to decide based on how much you care about your people, whether you want to show ads in your network or not. That's okay. But having one guy in San Francisco or the Silicon Valley, controlling what another guy in Malaysia can see, that's a little too much power. It's a little concerning. It's a little way too much power. If you guys have Netflix, please watch something called The Social Dilemma. It'll freak you out just how they architected this system. Like right now, a lot of people inside Facebook, they say it's at this point it's out of control. It's a big mainframe network and it has algorithms in it. And the guy at the drop of a button said, let me just turn up this knob and I'm going to get more users in Japan on Facebook just by turning up a certain ad campaign or whatever the case may be. It's just really, really scary. And I think, we are software engineers. I think, Chris, what do you think? I think we can build software, right? I think we can build social networks.
Yeah.
It's not really that hard. What do you think about that, Brian, right? Can we build social networks?
We can. Yeah.
Stanislav here is not letting anyone do anything. He's just pushing PRs day and night, right? I love that timeline feature. See how it's shaping up and all that? And I love that, a lot of you guys have not. By the way, Stanislav and Chris, Brian, they didn't do Blazor before.
Mhm.
So this is them touchdown on Blazor, and they're building something that hopefully will change the world. Hopefully. We can if we want to go into the metaverse, we can go into the metaverse with our own implementation. But I'm not ready to plug people into the matrix yet. Let's just enjoy life as it is and breathe normal air before it gets too far.
There was also that other issue I was talking about the other day about legislation in different countries. And
Yes. The
yes.
delete in Australia. Remember, Stanislav? I was just telling you about this the other
The
day.
2 year.
Mm.
Right, right. Do you remember 2 year, like by the government? But Brian, how do they know where what if the instance is hosted outside of Australia?
I don't think they really care. They're basically saying if it's available to Australian citizens, yeah, and otherwise don't make it available.
You're gonna have to think about that. But if you own the instance, you get to apply whatever. It's open source. Go out there and do whatever you want. Just make sure you give people a statement and let them know that this is what's gonna happen.
It's
You know what
actually
I
getting
mean?
pretty scary over here. They're talking about anything that doesn't comply with law. They're just going to block, and or it's almost sounding like a
Yikes.
Chinese firewall. Really?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Mm.
Anyway, thank you all for coming in today. Let's discuss these topics later, but I appreciate your input and for people watching us, I hope you found this little discussion. See, that's my life. We start writing some code and then really awesome people jump in and then we take it into discussing some technical issues and life issues and I guess political issues, Brian, and and hopefully we can build something that's useful for us and useful for the world. I have kids, Stanislav doesn't, Brian does, Chris
But
has.
soon I do. Soon I
Soon,
do.
soon
So
he's gonna have kids. If we really love our kids and we know how to build software, we should probably build a better future for them. And this social media platforms are taking over the world, and I don't want my kids to go into that. I don't want my kids because eventually they will, right? Because that's
I've,
how the whole world connects. Can we
I've got a
protect them? You know,
Yeah, I've got a young daughter now. She's in her early 20s, but I saw her in her teens go through some horrible stuff on Facebook. It's just,
this happens
and
all the
she,
time. By
yeah,
the way,
she was.
just uh
Sorry, she was one of those people that were literally like you were describing that other person. She was watching her Facebook all the time.
all the time. See?
Yep.
I know because that's everywhere. By the way, just letting you guys know, when Mark Zuckerberg, stole Facebook or started Facebook, you know, before that, the very previous product he built was a website. He stole all the pictures of all the girls in the, I think, Harvard school, and then he compared them to animals. That's the guy that's the moral police now, telling people what they can and can't say. That's that guy,
Mm.
so that, imagine a troll build a network. And now he's telling people what they can and can't say,
Mm.
and he says we respect your privacy. That's the biggest BS I've ever seen in my whole life. Anyway, a lot of these other networks are not any better either. Twitter, any of these platforms are not any better either. So anyway, I'll connect with you guys later. Thank you so much. Have a good day, and let's continue this tomorrow. Okay, you guys take care. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Appreciate you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.